So this was the top of a two-tiered table, and I had my husband cut another round wood base because I turned it into a Lazy Susan. It is fabulous, and this did sell really quickly. And what I did to begin with, I just literally put like letterpress gray or just a light gray in the DIY paint and white swan, and I just kind of brushed it on there, and then I wet distressed it back so some of the wood tone that is under there would show. And I am using the Barnwood stamp. It is a fabulous stamp. I did end up putting these transfers over there, and I didn't get an in picture of that. It did look good. My husband was like, leave it just the Barnwood. Okay, these stamps, I usually store them upside down like this to keep the ink at the top. I am using the black ink today. You can use any color of ink. I just really liked the black on this gray, white, neutrally tones. This can be done on walls. I had a guy that ran a tire store in my town, and he was looking for me because he had seen this online a year before he could ever find one. And he did his whole dining room walls in it, and I was so proud. I just come in and give him a really quick lesson. He bought it, and the ink will go forever and ever. I don't even know if I've ever used a whole bottle of ink. So I am just literally putting these like short little planks together, but you could use the very same stamp and go the whole length down to make it look like one continuous board. So this is a really good background for lots of things. It has several parts in it, and they have like at the end you'll see me doing the knot holes and the little lines with the dots to where it looks like a seam coming together. That is like the cherry on top. It is so fun. So you just ink this up, and I left it on the plastic mount it came on so that it has a little bit more structure, but you definitely can take it off the plastic mount and wrap around curves or whatever if you want. Here I'm just rubbing the back of it because you want to make sure the ink adheres to the thing. You don't want to push too hard because it is rubber and it'll mar the image. Sometimes on these larger stamps, even especially the 12 by 12 ones, I'll use a brayer to just kind of go over it just so it kind of, makes it touch the ink. Okay, now I am just reloading the stamp with ink. And you can even take the gray ink and the black ink and kind of put it sporadically on there and even give more of a two-tone to the background. This is just like unending the things you can do. I have done the display platform in my brick and mortar storefront. They look so good now. I've used those tabletops as my shipping department so that it's super cute, and I'm telling you, it's so good. I've done a tabletop. I made it red, and then I did the black ink. That sold really quick. It's just so good. You can distress this back after the ink dries. It takes about 24 hours for the ink to dry, and distress it back and make it even look more old. I have used the DIY clay paint, which dries really quickly, and that does need to be sealed. The ink won't need to be sealed. So you can use multiple mediums with this stamp, and they're easy to clean off with a Lysol wipe or a scrub brush and water. If you're working on a large surface like a wall or a floor, if you want to get a really cheap laser level, you can get them for under $20 and shoot you a level line to keep going, more level and straight. That's great. You can absolutely do that. You can do this on fabric. You can do it on wood. You can do it on walls. It's just all of our stamps can be used multi-type. I've done so many pieces of furniture with this. It's a great backdrop on blanks for signage. Just, you really need to grab this stamp. They are still out there. I have a bunch, and I am doing the brick roller on my wall. So please subscribe if you want to see that. I cannot wait to get that video out. It looks so good on my laundry room wall. So I am using this Ziploc bag that I used to store my stamps in, which are really good. You can get them on Amazon. But now we have the iron orchid envelopes that are not very expensive that fit our stamps beautifully. Okay, so don't load your stamp with ink on your project because you will end up hitting it and you'll have a mess and it's kind of sad. You can usually clean the ink up with a Lysol wipe, not anything else. It dissolves the ink because I did my whole kitchen wall with the Cubano stamp, and if I messed up, I would just get it with the Lysol. You can't get it off with a baby wipe. You can't get it off with soap and water. The ink will be dissolved by the Lysol wipe. So you can clean up a little bit. Just do good and just do it on something else, and that's why I have that Ziploc bag on there. Hey guys, this is fixing to be my funnest part ever, where I start putting the little seams in that have the nail holes and the little knot holes and just the saw tooth, whatever you see. It almost looks like American flag. There's so many pieces to the stamp and it is just so fun. So in a minute, you're going to see a little preview of stamping on a onesie, and I will put the video I did last week's link in the description box so you can go to that one because it was real fun. You need a stamp. They're multi-use over and over and over. So they are a very good investment. Grab a friend, have them get a different stamp than what you have, and then you bring your stamp and have a little stamping party together. If you haven't stamped wrapping paper, you can get the brown craft wrapping paper and make your gifts so cute. You can stamp any kind of paper, even tissue paper, and then Mod Podge your stamp images with that. So there is so many things to do. And this is the part that there's no right or wrong. You just get in there and you kind of do it where you think. I'm going to point out at the very end a little slower motion of where I could have put a couple more seams with nail holes in it. And I didn't get an in shot of how this transfer did. But the thing to do is I used DIY paint on this slick 80s Formica fake wood surface, and it was totally fine because it will adhere to almost anything. So you can seal your DIY paint with water-based top coat or big top first before you put the ink on, or you could do it after. I just do it before. Here is the little onesie. I have all the links to the supplies I used in this video and the link to how to do this masking technique. If you haven't done the masking technique, watch this video and you will learn so much. comment if you're going to try this, or if you've never stamped, or if you love to stamp. And if you like this content, I release a video every week, and I'm very responsive to comments. So if you need any help, just leave the comments. Thanks for watching.